Can you hear me, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon to all of you who are seeking the truth of the Most High in spirit and in truth. May we all be compelled to shed the knowledge of the world and to seek after the wisdom of the Most High, because the knowledge of this world is foolishness in the eyes of the Most High. Let no man deceive you. Let the Spirit lead and guide you into all truth. And then we almost also do what? Test the Spirit and His teaching, or the spirits around the world. The world is created not just by one spirit only. Okay? In the beginning, the Most High created the heavens and the earth. As you keep reading on, it says, what? Let us make man in the image of the Most High. So the Most High created the heavens and the earth with other helpers. Okay? But that's not the message today. The message is about, is Christianity the way? Part 2. Okay? When we look back in history, okay, we understand that the world has been given to the hands of the wicked. Okay, the world is ran by people who are evil. Okay, because Satan fell, all right, and he was given a time to rule. Okay, so the reason why the burning of the Library of Alexandria is very important is because why? When you look back in history, every single time a certain nation was given rulership over one that they've conquered, what did they always do? They burned their libraries. They took their libraries and they also burned their history. So the people that you subjugate do not know who they are. So they do not have an upheaval and overthrow your kingdom. This is why in America, you are taught what? European history. You are not taught world history. Because if you follow European history, Christopher Columbus is the only one that discovered America. But then when you study world history, okay, the Vikings were there. Even China was there in America before Christopher Columbus. And also Africa was the first one to America as well. You know, so if you don't study to show yourself approved unto the Most High, then you are being misled. Okay, because many false teachers and false prophets shall come in the last days. Okay, it's not just talking about only the Bible. Okay, it's also talking about history. History is rewritten by the victors. His story. It's his story on how he conquered you. And now you have to learn about your history that was taken from you to know who you truly are. Okay. This is why the burning of Alexandria is important, because when the Romans were conquering, they made sure to take the books from Egypt, the books, the papyrus. They studied the hieroglyphics. And then once they were conquering them, they also burned them, burned their city. They burned all the ancient knowledge, because why? You want to conquer someone, you have to have dominion over them. Okay, so let's go and read a little bit. Oh, no, not that. Here you go. Let's go to, well, first let's all give all honor and glory to the Most High, to Tanzami Mazulu, Kimfumo Kwakwaisa, Kimball to the Heavenly Father, and all those who surround his throne of glory. Okay. A little bit of background from my point of view, guys, is, I used to be a Christian. Okay. And I'm still trying to find it in the Bible where it says to be a Christian, you have to be saved. Okay. Nowhere does it say you have to be a Christian to be saved. All right. You have to follow the Most High in spirit and in truth, and let the Spirit of the Most High lead and guide you into all truth. Okay. And there's a day that the Most High shall seek after worshipers who worship him in spirit and in truth. It doesn't say in spirit and religion or in spirit and Christianity. Okay. So I do not go against the Bible, guys. Okay. The Bible is like a foundation. Okay. It's good to read, but not everything in the world that you need to know is in there. Okay. Because when it says the knowledge shall increase in the last days, like we did in our first study, is Christianity the right way, right? The Bible is just a piece. It's a small percentage of knowledge that is in the world. Okay, you have to go to outside sources. You cannot just only read the Bible to find the real truth. Sometimes you have to be alone. Even the Most High says himself, go alone in your secret place, close the door and seek your Father in secret, and he shall reward you openly in secret. Okay. Okay. Do not love the world or the things of the world, or the love of the Father is not within you. So if you love too much of the world and you're always seeking the world to teach you, or people who are in the world, you're not learning from the Spirit of the Most High. Okay. Now, I'm just showing you guys why Christianity is not correct. Okay. It's not like we're going against the Most High or the teachings of the Bible. It's a book that was written by the Europeans. Okay. Because when we read in King Leopold's letter, the missionaries in Congo, okay, what did they say? These people said that the people in Africa, in the Congo Kingdom, okay, or in Angola, people know it, Angola, Congo, um, a big percentage of the land around there. You know, I mean, do forgive me for not remembering the exact landmass of it, but it was a big kingdom. Okay, is a lot of it was the central part of Africa. Okay, it kind of went down almost to South Africa and further up towards Egypt and stuff like that. It was a very big kingdom. All right, so when they went to the Kingdom of Congo in the 1500s, they saw land that was very prosperous. Okay, if you do your research, okay, before the kingdom fell, it was a very prosperous kingdom. There was no war, there was no homelessness, people were fed, people were taken care of, like the Bible says that we have to do. Okay, so they got the stories and everything from Africa. Okay, and then it says what in King Leopold's letter, right? Do not teach these Negroes, these black people about God. They already know him, right? So the Europeans, okay, because once again, everyone needs to also understand their position in the world, who they are, okay? I understand the Most High created all different nations, okay? And this is then when we get into Jeremiah 2 and 11, right? Has a nation ever changed its gods? Yet they are not gods at all, but my people have exchanged their glorious creator for worthless idols. Okay? If people really read the Bible properly, right? The Most High's chosen people, we'll just use the word Israel, okay, for a time. Okay. Israel means Isis, Horus, and Ra. Okay. It's also not the true name of the people when you go back into the more ancient languages. Okay. Uh, the people kept on worshiping other idols. Okay. And then, like it says in Exodus 20 and 4, right? You shall make no idols, nor graven images, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall you set up an image of stone in your hand or in your land, okay, to bow down unto it, for I am the Most High your God, okay? If you look in the world today, guys, what do you see? Okay, because when we go into this picture of the Vatican, what do we see, guys? Look at the Vatican. Statues. Statues made from stone. Like I just said, next is 20. Okay. You go to the Muslims, they have the Kabbalah rock. All right. They have the rock. My bad. They have a rock. Okay. Christians have a cross made from wood and the statue of this so-called Jesus made from stone. Okay. Come on, guys. It's a statue. It's just like anything you see here. It's a statue. Okay. Buddha is made from bronze also, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. It's still a statue. Okay. Let's not be hypocrites, guys. Okay. If you're in Christianity, don't be a hypocrite telling the Buddhists and the Muslims you worship an idol. So do you Christians. Okay. Open your eyes. Remember, the Most High's words are like a hammer, and his words are like fire. Okay. That means his words are not always easy to take. Okay. So stop thinking when someone's preaching, they have to preach with such kindness all the time. All right? It's not always like that. So this is why we have to understand the Most High first and not let man deceive us. Now this image right here is crazy. This is in the Vatican. Now, if you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear what the Mwanda is saying, you guys should know what this is. Okay. But for those who don't know, this is an image of what? This is not angels, guys. These are the fallen angels that fell. Okay. It's crazy, but this is the picture that they have. This is part of their one of their churches. Okay. This is literally what they have in the background of one of their churches. Okay. It's crazy. Okay, but as you guys can see, many statues, many idol, the biggest idol worshippers, the biggest pagans in the world is the Roman Catholic Church. And Roman Catholic Church also is the founder of Christianity and also the one who created the Muslim religion and all other religions. Okay. If you don't believe me, do your research. Okay. 2 Timothy 2:15, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. But we'll get to that too. Okay. So now we go to 2 Corinthians 11:4. For it says, for if someone comes to you and preaches a Jesus other than other than the Jesus was preached, or if you receive a different spirit from the spirit you received, or a different gospel from the one you accepted, you put up with it easily enough. Okay. Now, the problem also is what Christians will say that this Jesus has always been preached, not according to what history teaches us. Okay. All right. So let's go to 2 Timothy 2:15-16. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman not needed, not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Okay. It didn't say only reading the Bible here, guys. Okay. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. Okay. So if someone is talking about something that is unholy and unrighteous, talking about lies, remember, Satan is the father of all lies. Okay. And the Most High is always righteous, holy. His words never fall down to the earth. His words are always true. He never lies. That's the Most High for you. Okay. So if we understand that different religions in the world are false, who's the one that put them forward? It's man. Okay. Even though Satan uses man to corrupt the ways of the Most High, because we do not fight against flesh and blood, we fight against a spiritual war. Okay. So you can be influenced by good and bad spirits, whether or not you walk the correct path. Okay. So this is where we go into history a little bit. Okay. In Caesar's Messiah, Joseph Atwill showed that the Flavian Caesar, Vespasian, and Titus invented Christianity more or less in the form we know it today. Okay. So history is telling us this. Okay. Because remember, they burned the books, they burned the ancient knowledge and gave you their history. They told their side of their history, okay, and not the truth. If we go into right here, this is a video for anybody who's interested, okay? Remember, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. If you reject knowledge, I will also reject thee, okay? In the last days, knowledge shall increase. So you cannot reject the knowledge that's coming out now, because the Most High says that I shall bring all things from the darkness into the light. That means the truth shall come out. And if you do not want to accept it, you will remain in darkness. Okay, look, Caesar's Messiah, the Roman conspiracy to invent Jesus the Christ. Okay. Now, this is also from people who are in high positions of studying as well. Okay, this is also from the History Channel. Also had this up. All right, this is a very powerful video because they have statues and they show that different statues represent different pagan deities. Now we're also going to go through that with a book. Okay. The problem also is what the Bible has a very pro-Roman. Okay, it's very pro-Roman. Okay, why is Christianity in Rome? Okay, the headquarters is in Rome. Okay, it has a Roman feel to it when you read the Bible. Okay, and if someone wants to say that the Christianity isn't racist, I mean, I would say so. Okay, because what does it say, right? That so-called God is white, the angels are white, the Savior is white, the saints are white, everything is white. Okay, and when you look up the KKK, the KKK even says Jesus saves. So that's kind of an anticlimactic. Okay, and we just have to make sure that we're truly studying. Okay, so 2 Peter 2. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you. It's talking about even back then, they had false teachers from the beginning. They had people falsely teaching the real truth. So don't think this is new. The Bible even says there's nothing new under the sun. Okay. Who privily shall bring in the damnable heresies, even denying the Most High that brought them, and bringing up themselves swift destruction. And many shall follow their Copernicus, sorry, pernicious ways, by reasons of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. Right, so there will be people that shall say evil is good and good is evil. Okay. And thou covetous and thou covetously shall they with Ephesian words make merchandise of you, whose judges now of a long time langeth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. For if the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into the chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. The problem also is that when you read in the first book of Enoch, okay, not all the angels were put into chains. Okay, Satan is what? A roaring lion, seeing who he can devour. Okay, Satan is still amongst the world. He's being used also by the Most High. Well, the Bible talks about what? I shall send thee a strong delusion that even the very elect shall fall into it. Okay. Do we not understand that? Okay. So we go also. All right. This is also an important one here, guys. We go to Job 9:24-35. Okay. The earth is giving into the hands of the wicked. He covereth his face of the judges. Therefore, if not, where and who is he? Just the first part, guys, is really easy. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Even when the Messiah was here back then, what did he say, huh? The kingdom is not of this world. The earth is not my kingdom. It's the kingdom to come in the last days. Okay. When you see the kingdom of Edom fall, the kingdom of Jacob shall rise. Okay. So that means the so-called place that people want to keep preserving has to fall for the true kingdom of the Most High to come. So if you love the world and you want this kingdom to stay, you do not love the Most High. Okay. Now my days are swifter than a post. They flee away. They see no good. They are passed away as the swift ships, at the eagle that hasteth to the prey. If I say I will forget my compliment, I will leave off my heavens and confront myself, and comfort myself. I am afraid of all my sorrows. I know that thou wilt not hold me innocent. If I be wicked, why then labor I in vain? There's a lot of people out there who are relying on their money to save them. A lot of people who are very prideful, okay, who allow their so-called 7 deadly sins to overtake their body. You're supposed to fight within yourself versus your good and your bad side, okay? The so-called yin and yang. You have to overcome and fight the world. The world is always going to be evil, okay? We're always going to be fighting to do good and evil, okay? You shalt thou plunder me in the dark, and mine own clothes shall abhor me. For he is not a man as I am, that I should answer him, and we should come together in judgment. Neither is there any daysman betwixt us that might lay his hands upon us both. Let him take his rod away from me, and let not his fury terrify me. Then would I speak and not fear him, but it is not so with me. Okay? It's showing that the wicked people shall rule. They shall do evil things to the world. Okay? The Bible even says it, right? The world has been given to the hands of the wicked. Okay? The wicked are ruling right now. Okay? If people say no, then why are there wars? Why is there famine? Okay? You even go to America. Okay? Certain parts of America, there are people that are homeless. There are people who don't have food, people who are not educated, people who also cannot read. All right, there are people in America who cannot read, who are illiterate as well. Okay. I don't know why everyone wants to run to America when America has so many problems. You know, how many people are on drugs? Okay. It's sad that you can go down a certain place. You can find a church, a strip club, a place that sells alcohol, okay, and then drugs. And then you have another place that sells idols, okay? Little statues, trinkets, you know, stuff like that. Okay. So let's go and read. This is another 25 Bible verses about what? False teachers. Okay. 1 John 4:1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit, whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Okay. 2 Corinthians 11:13-15. For such as false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Christ, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore it is not great thing but therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed also, the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. Okay, so you have people who are preaching the so-called gospel, but they are from Satan. I think people keep forgetting that what Satan was able to deceive Adam and Eve. Okay? And Adam and Eve were able to do what? They are able to hear the footsteps of the Most High. My goodness. Adam and Eve were so close to the Most High, they could hear his footsteps. Okay? They were in the Garden of Eden. And you're telling me that Satan deceived them. And now today you got people who think I'm not being deceived. You are far from Adam and Eve's understanding of the Most High. Far from it. Humanity has fallen so far, they do not even know the Most High who created the heavens and the earth at all. Okay? There are so many other gods out there, like it just said in Jeremiah. Okay? Are people not understanding? Has a nation changed its gods? The Bible talks about that there are other gods out there. Look at the Greek pantheon. In school, I remember I was learning about the Greek pantheon in America. They're standing there. They, oh yeah, put your hand, say the pledge of allegiance that they worship God, but then they're teaching about the Greek pantheon on many different gods. Then the question is, what God are you spouting, America? Are you truly spouting? Okay. And here's another one, 2 John 1, 7-11. For many deceivers are entered into the world, who confesses not that the true name is Yesaya, okay? Yesaya Congo. But for people who are still in religion, okay, who are still drinking the milk, okay? Once again, when are you guys going to graduate from milk to meat and then to harder meat, okay? That's the problem. People are still on milk doctrine when they're in these religions. Okay. I went to a church one time. They just talking about the bread of life message for 4 hours. I'm sitting there and the Most High is telling me, my goodness, you were learning more at home. The Most High was showing me, teaching me at home more than I was sitting inside that church. Okay. So, like it says, for many deceivers are entered into the world, who confess not that Messiah is come in the flesh. This is a deceiver and an antichrist. Okay, look to yourselves that we lose not those things which we have wrought, but that we receive a full reward. Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrines of the Most High has not the Most High with him. He that abideth in the doctrine of Christ, he has both the Father and the Son. If there come any unto you and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. For he that bideth him good, for he that bideth him God, speed his partaker of his evil deeds. So even what was the Vatican? Uh, the the Pope himself said what? The Pope said himself one time, okay, that he was the vicar of Christ, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. The Pope said he was the vicar of Christ. Everyone has to go to him for his sins and everything like that. Let's see. Okay. It says, from the mountain he was introduced to the world after he elected Pope Francis. His infinitive, let's see, where does it say it? Okay. In 2020, the official Vatican yearbook has made the same emphasis by listing other deceptions of the papal office as historical titles. Like the 2019 edition, there is a page that says simply Francis, Bishop of Rome, but unlike last year editions, the new yearbook does not proceed the biography of George Maria. That's right. George Maria Bergoglio with the title Vicar of Jesus Christ, successor of the Prince of the Apostles, Supreme Pontiff of the Universal Church. Okay. Do you guys hear that? He calls himself the Vicar of Christ, successor of the Prince of the Apostles, Supreme Pontiff of the Universal Church. Okay. Primate of Italy. All right. So you got this Pope Francis, and then he also dropped the Vicar of Christ as well, because the 3 lightning bolts hit the Vatican also. So if someone's going to say that the Most High is not paying attention, I don't know if people are paying attention to what's really going on in the world. Okay. It's very interesting, but yes. All right. But like it says, for many deceivers are entered into the world. Okay. So there are many antichrists. There are many people who are saying that they know the Most High, but he never sent them. Okay. Romans 16:17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offense contrary to the doctrines which ye have learned, and avoid them. Okay. This is kind of going against what Christianity teaches, right? Oh, to love everybody, to accept everybody. Nope. If someone's really misteaching the real word of the Most High, you should not be with them. All right. Do not be equally yoked to those who do not have the Spirit of the Most High. Okay. Do not, do not, do not, do not sit with the sinners and engage in their unlawful behavior. Okay. You can sit with sinners and talk about the Most High and tell them, hey, this is how you can be saved. If you're doing drugs, if you're smoking, if you're cheating on your wife, these are things that are unholy and not good for the most, and what the Most High deems to be ungodly. And if they say we don't care and they keep doing it, walk away from them. Do not partake in the sin. Okay. That's the thing too. Okay. 1 John 4:1-3. Beloved believers, not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out to the world. Hereby know ye the Spirit of the Most High. Every spirit that confesses that Yesiah is come in the flesh is from the Most High, and every spirit that confesses not that Yesiah is come in the flesh is not of the Most High. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist, wherefore you have heard that it should come, and even now already it is in the world. Okay. But like our previous teachings, guys, remember the letter J never existed. The letter J is only 400 years old. So who is this Jesus that people keep talking about? Okay. It's a creation by man to put forward another doctrine. Okay. That's just how it is. Right. 1 Timothy 6:3-5. If any man teaches otherwise and conserves not to whosoever worlds, even the words of our, oh goodness. The word Lord also means Baal. Okay. You guys can look it up for yourself. Okay. Because guys, remember, there's a landlord. Okay. There in Britain, they have lords. Okay. These are just titles also. Okay. That's the problem. Okay. Look, for in this time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after that our own lusts shall they keep to themselves, teachers having itching ears. And that's the problem with people. They have itching ears. They go from church to place to place. Right? There are people who go through different denominations of the Christian religion, and then they become atheists. They don't believe anymore. Okay. The problem also is what did the Bible talks about what, guys? Huh? That the people who are the true believers shall be in Kintwati, okay, or unity, okay? They shall not fight amongst each other. But when you look throughout the different church doctrines, the denominations in Christianity, you have people fighting against different denominations of Christianity. All right, the Pentecosts versus the evangelists versus the Jehovah's Witnesses versus the Roman Catholics versus the Christian apologetics, and all that. The Hebrew Israelites versus everyone is fighting against one another against the doctrine that they are saying is true. Okay. And this is one that's crazy right here. Matthew 7:21 and 23. Not everyone that says unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that does the will of my Father which is in heaven. So your true brother and sister are those who do the will of the Most High. But yet you've got people who call themselves Christians, and yet after church on Sunday, which is sun worship, they're going to go into clubs, they're going to go do drugs, they're going to go cheat on their wife, they're going to kill somebody, not just only physically. Okay, you could hate somebody so much that you're actually killing them. Okay, murder is not just you physically killing them. You could hate someone for no reason, and you are committing murder in the eyes of the Most High. You hate someone for no reason. They did nothing bad to you. You just do not like that they have more than you. All right. Or they're more blessed than you. Okay. That's the problem. Right. Christianity is not the way, guys. I don't understand why people follow them. Okay. Let's go into this book for a little bit. Okay. This is a book. All right. We're going to look now into this book called Bible Myths. Okay. Because we have to study history and understand where does Christianity truly come from? What did Christianity steal? Okay. So we are going to be talking about this right here. All right. So this is Dagon. Okay. This is a fish god. Okay. 1 Samuel 5 and 3. And when they of Ashdod arose early in the morning, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of the Most High, and they took Dagon and set him in his place again. So they took someone who has fallen, a fallen angel, a fallen god, a fallen idol, and they placed them again. Okay. You see this hat right here, guys? This hat represents the fish. Okay. The question also remains, guys, when you see people wearing these so-called clothing, okay, do you guys even question why and what is it represent? Okay, the world is filled with symbolism. Okay, like right here, the staff of Osiris with the pine cone, with the two snakes. Okay, staff of Dionysus with a pine cone, staff of Bauchus with a pine cone, Pope with a pine cone staff, the Anunnaki with a pine cone. The largest pine cone statue in the world is in the Vatican City. The pine cone. Okay. So let's read a little bit of this. Okay. Dagon was sometimes represented as a man emerging from a fish's mouth, and sometimes as half man and half fish. It was believed that he came in a ship and taught the people. Ancient history abounds with such mythological person sorry person personages. There was also a Durga, a fish deity among the Hindus, okay, represented as a full-grown man emerging from a fish's mouth. The Philistines worshipped Dagon, okay? The Philistines worshipped Dagon, and in Babylon mythology, Od-Akon is applied to a fish-like being who rose from the waters of the Red Sea as one of the benefactors of man. On the coins of Ascalon, where she was held in great honor, the goddess Dekreto or Ategetis, sorry if I'm butchering some of these names, guys, is represented as a woman with her lower extremities like a fish. So that would be considered like a mermaid for some people. Okay, the merman and the merwoman. This is a Semiramis who appeared at Joppa as a mermaid. She is simply a personification of the moon, all right, who follows the course of the sun. At times she manifests herself to the eye of man. At others she seeks counsel in the western flood. So the sun god, okay, Phoebus, travels the sea in the form of a fish and imparts lessons of wisdom and goodness when he has come forth from the green depths. All those powers are quietly, sorry, are all the all these powers or qualities are shared by Proteus in Helenus' story, as well as by the fish god Dagon or Oannes. So a lot of these pagan deities or these false or these fallen angels also have many different names. Okay. So the problem also is what? Has a nation changed their gods? No, they have not. So other nations were given other deities, gods, fallen angels to teach them, but they went astray and they weren't teaching the real Most High. Okay. The whole world is worshiping many false gods and idols. Okay. They're not truly serving the true creator. All right. And you guys can see what it's the sun god. All right. And then the moon. Okay. It's the worship of the sun and the moon. When you go into let's see, into the uh not all right. The Christians do the same thing, guy. You guys are also worshiping the sun and the moon. When the Pope has that so-called cookie, as in the body of Christ, okay, that also represents the sun. And underneath the chalice that they have, they put the cookie in, there is a moon symbol. There's an image of the moon. So it's the sun and the moon coming together. Okay. It's idol worship. Okay. It's worshiping the sun and the moon. The problem is you guys don't know that, because why would the priest tell you what he's truly doing and what that truly represents? Okay. There is a duality to everything. Everything has more than one meaning as well. Okay. So the sun god Pholibis travels the sea in the form of a fish and imparts lessons of wisdom and goodness. When he has come forth from the green depths, all these powers or qualities are shared by Proteus in Helenus' story, as well as by the fish god Dagon. Okay, or Oannes. In the lid of Odysseus, Atlas is brought into close connection with Helios, the bright god, the Latin soul, and our sun. In these poems, he rises every morning from a beautiful lake by the depth flowing stream of ocean, and having accomplished his journey across the heavens, okay, plunges again into the western waters. Okay, some people actually thought that the sun, back in ancient history, it was a god, because it would rise from one way and set another way. It would come back. All right. So some people were worshiping the sun and the moon because they do mystical things, is what they thought. And there are people who worship the sun still today. All right. They worship the sun. Okay. Now where did I leave off? In these poems, he rises every morning from a beautiful lake by the depths flowing streams of the ocean, and having accomplished his journey across the heaven, plunges again into the western waters. So the ancient Mexicans and Peruvians had likewise semi-fish gods. Jonah then is like those other personages insofar as they are all personifications of the sun. They all come out of the sea. They are all They are all represented as a man, okay, emerging from a fish's mouth, and they are all benefactors of mankind. Okay, we believe, therefore, that it is one of the same myths, whether Oannes, Jonas, or Jonas, different varying. All right, I mean, even in the Bible talks about Jonah, we got swallowed up by a fish. Okay, sometimes some of these stories, guys, are made up, all right, and put into the Bible. This is also why the Bible is not fully accurate with everything. Okay, so different fearing to a certain extent among different nations, just as we find to be the case with our legends. This we have just seen illustrated in the story of Little Red Riding Hood, which is considered mutilated in the English version. That means it's corrupted in the English version. It's not the proper translation. All right. We have to remember that what English is the newest language in the world. It's not the oldest. It's so new. It's like a baby considered to some ancient languages in Africa. So here's the fish god right here, guys. All right. Just like we saw with the Pope as he had it on his hat. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go to page 168. 8. The Buddhist sacred books relate that the birth of Buddha was announced in the heavens by a astrum. Right, somewhere I wanted to be. Okay. There you go. The Chinese were very superstitious concerning the stars. They annually published astronomical calculations of the motions of the planets for every hour and minute of the year. They considered it important to be very exact because the hours and even the minutes are lucky or unlucky according to the aspect of the stars. Some days were considered uh, particular fortunate for marrying or beginning to build a house, and the gods are better pleased with sacrifices offered at certain hours than they are with the same ceremony performed at other times. Okay, so this is also why the Chinese have their New Year's and why they do it at certain times, certain seasons, and certain events are done at certain times and everything. Okay. So the thing is, throughout ancient history, people would always use the stars to use something, right? Um, so the ancient Persians were also great astrologers. Astrologers, and held the stars in great reverence. They believed and taught that destination of that the destinies of men were intimately connected with their motions, and therefore it was important to know under the influence of what star a human soul made it advent into the world. Astrologers swarmed throughout the countries and were consulted upon all important occasions. Now we go to Egypt. The ancient Egyptians were excellent or or exactly the same in this in this in this respect, according to uh, Champollion. The tomb of Rameses the fifth, I think that is, at Thebes, contains tablets of the constellations and of their influence of human beings for every hour of every month of the year. Okay. The Buddhist sacred books relate that the birth of Buddha was announced in the heavens by a aster, asteroid, which was seen rising on the horizon. It is called the Messianic star, the Phoenician. Okay. See, wise men know as holy riches were informed by these solemnity signs that the Messiah was born. Okay. So what this is trying to tell us, guys, is what we know that in the Bible it said, there's a bright star in the heavens that shone that Christ was born. Okay. But yet you can go into history and it's the same thing. Okay. Buddha had a star that represented his birth. Okay. And everything. Here. In the Ramayana, one of the sacred books of the Hindus, sorry if I mispronounced that, the horoscopes of Rama's birth is given. He is said to have been born on the 9th Tidith of the month Saitya. The planet Jupiter, figured at his birth, is being in Cancer. At that time, Rama was an incarnation of Vishnu. When Krishna was born, his star were to be seen in the heavens. They were pointed out by one Nereid, a great prophet and astrologer. Okay, without going through the list, we can say that the birth of every Indian avatar was foretold by celestial signs. The same myth is to be found in the legends of China. Among others, they relate that a star figure at the birth of Yu, the founder of the first dynasty, which resides in China, who, as we say in the last chapters, was of heavenly origin, having been born of a virgin. Okay. It is also said that a star figure at the birth of Leontaz, the Chinese sage. Do forgive me if I mispronounce your name. In the legends of the Jews, okay, uh, Patriarchus, the prophet, it is stated that a brilliant star shone at the time of the birth of Moses. It was seen by the Magi of Egypt, who immediately informed the king. When Abraham was born, his star shone in the heavens. If we may believe the popular legends, and its brilliance outshone all the other stars, okay, rabbinic traditions relate the following. Abraham was the son of Terah, general of Nimrod's army. He was born at Ur of the Chaldeans of the Chaldeus, 1948, 1,940 years after the creation of the night of his birth. Terah's friends, among whom were many of Nimrod's counselors and soothsayers, were fasting in the house. On leaving late at night, they observed an unusual star in the east and seemed to run from one quarter of the heaven to the other and to devour four stars which were there, all amazed in astonishment. At this wondrous sight, truly, said they, this can signify nothing else but the Terah's newborn son will become great and powerful. Okay, it's related to Nimrod. In a dream, saw a star rising above the horizon, which was very brilliant. Okay, so it was very brilliant on the horizon. And look, he will become a great prince. And look, a brilliant star which eclipsed all the other stars was also to be seen at the birth of Caesar. In the fact, as Canon Farrow remarks, the Greeks and the Romans had always considered that the birth and death of great men were symbolized by the appearance and disappearance of heavenly bodies, and the same beliefs has continued down to comparatively modern times. Okay, so the problem is when we read in the first book of Enoch, I know a lot of people don't like reading those books, but Enoch said that that the using of the stars and planets will be for times and seasons. Okay, so in the book of Enoch, it talks about how the Most High made the stars, the planets, as a calendar and as a time for times and seasons. Okay, so we are all people in the know, in power, are still using the stars, the planets, and the constellations to understand what is going on, because that's what the Most High ordained it to be. Okay. If we also realize that what the calendar that we use was also changed. Okay. The calendar. Okay. Let's see. The 1752 calendar changed. Today's America are used to a calendar with a year based the Earth's rotation around the sun. with monthlies having no relationship to the cycle of the moon, and New Year's Day falling on January 1st. However, that system was not adopted in England and its colonies until 1752. Okay, so the problem is we're using a Gregorian calendar. Okay, the Gregorian calendar is the calendar used in most of the world. It was introduced in October 1582 by Pope Gregio X111. I think that's Pope Gregory the 14th as a modification of the replacement for the Julian calendar. The principal changes was to space leap years differently so as to make the average calendar year 365.2425 days long. More closely approximated time 365.2422 days. So the problem also is in the book of Enoch, it talks about that the Most High had a certain amount of days in the calendar, and when the Gregorians changed it, they added more days to the calendar. Okay, when the Bible talks about that, let's see. They shall change times and season. Times and seasons. I think that's Daniel 7:25. He shall speak against the Most High and oppress his holy people and try to change the set times and the laws. The holy people will be delivered into his hands for a time and half a time. Okay, so the world shall change the true times and seasons. Okay. Let's see. He shall speak words against the Most High. He shall wear out the saints of the Most High. He shall think to change the times and the laws. Okay. That's Daniel 7:25. And then Daniel 12:7. And heard the man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the stream. He raised his right hand and his left hand towards the heaven and swore by him who lives forever that it would be for a time and half a time, and that when the shattering of the power of the holy people comes to an end, all these things would be finished. And the woman fled into the wilderness. It's also in Revelations as well. Revelations 12:6. The Bible talks about that the Antichrist shall change the times and seasons. And I think we just understand who that is, guys. That's the Vatican. Because the Vatican is the one that gave us the new calendar. The Gregorian calendar is from the Vatican. And they shall change the times and season. And this is also a historical event that happened in October 1582 by Pope Gregory the 14th. Okay, as a modification of the Julian calendar. So the Roman Catholic Church has also did what? They also put forward the what? The one world religion as well. Okay. Here I have, this will be the last thing for the now. I have it right here. Pope VI wrote a paper, okay, encycling that called of the nations to abandon sovereignty to form a world government. Okay. This is the Pope himself saying it. Now, when we read in the Tower of Babel, what did the Tower of Babel do? They did the same thing. They tried to make one nation, one government power to build their tower to heaven to throw down the Most High. This is kind of what the UN is also. Oh, wait, let me show you guys what it looks like. I forgot, I don't have it shared. My bad. Right here. So Pope VI, the Pope VI, wrote a paper. Okay, so this is what he said. Okay, he called all the nations to abandon sovereignty to form a world government, a new world order, a one world government, that the whole world is run by one government. But that's not how the Most High wants things to operate, right? In the Tower of Babel, they had what? They had one government. And then the Most High came down to confuse the languages and to destroy their tower. Okay. If you look at the UN, it's many nations building against the Most High. Okay. They're trying to create this Tower of Babel once again to go up to the heavens and to destroy the Most High. Okay. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay. So very interesting. Okay. We will be reading more from this book right here. Okay. Because it's showing us that many things that we know today from the Christian belief or from Christianity, okay, is not correct. All right. Where are we at now? Yeah. Another good thing for you guys to watch as well is this gentleman right here. Now remember, guys, eat the meat and spit out the bones. Okay. This is a gentleman I watched a while ago. Okay. The Hidden Truths of Christianity. Okay, by Dr. Phil Valentine. Okay. The thing is, we have to understand that what Satan has also deceived the whole world. We're living in a deception, so we have to remove ourselves from the deception. Okay. That is the reality. Okay. We have to understand that the world is very, very dark. But the Most High light will shine through. Okay. The Most High said himself that all things in the darkness shall come to the light. Okay. That the Most High shall show people the truth through his prophets. Okay. Right. And then when we were reading about the stars, okay. Where is that? Let's see, where is that? Right here. So when we're reading about this, okay, when we go into the Bible, let's see. I cannot believe I forgot who that was. Yeah, I think it was Moses. Here you go. Acts 7:22 to 43. Moses was educated in all the wisdom of the Egyptians and was powerful in speech and action. When Moses was 40 years old, he decided to visit his own people, the Israelites, okay, or Yisolele. He saw one of them being mistreated by an Egyptian. So he went to his defense and avenged him by killing the Egyptian. Okay. Moses thought that his own people would realize that the Most High was using him to rescue them, but they did not. The next day, Moses came upon two Israelites who were fighting. He tried to recognize, he tried to reconcile them by saying, "Men, you are brothers. Why do you want to hurt each other?" Okay, but the man was was mis mistreating the other, pushed Moses aside and said, "Who made you ruler and judge over us? Are you thinking of killing me as you killed the Egyptian yesterday?" When Moses heard this, he fled to Medina, where he settled as a foreigner and had two sons. Okay, so the problem also is that we don't understand that sometimes the Most High is going to use certain people as well. Okay, I cannot believe I forgot which Bible verse it talked about how how a certain, I forget if it was Moses, Abraham, but he was more learned in knowing the stars, astronomy, than all the magi and the magicians in Egypt. Okay, so the thing is, learning about astronomy and astrology is not wicked. It's from the Most High. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because Moses was educated in all the wisdom of the Egyptians. Okay. And the Egyptians studied many different things. You can go do your own research and see what the Egyptians were studying. Okay. Egypt is also part of Africa. Okay. And some people even thought that Moses was also an Egyptian because the Egyptians and the Israelites worked together and lived together. Okay. And when you go back in history, the Egyptians were people of color. Okay. That's the thing. The Egyptians were people of color. All right. So next lesson will be the third part of this, and they will be reading more from this book. This book is very, has a lot of knowledge. It has a lot of hidden mysteries and hidden secrets that the Vatican or your pastor won't tell you about. That many things were taken from paganism or from pagan worship and put into the understanding of Christianity today. Okay, so let's all study to show ourselves approved unto the Most High. I implore you all to watch this right here, Caesar's Messiah, the Rome conspiracy to invent Jesus. Okay, we are not saying that Jesus did not exist. Okay, but the Jesus that they give you, okay, is the wrong savior, is the wrong image, is the wrong individual. Because remember what Satan said, he shall establish himself above the Most High. The world shall worship the image of the beast. Okay. So it's already happening. The world is already worshiping the image of the beast. Because the Most High said not to have any graven images on this earth. And we see graven images all over the earth. Obelisks, statues, idols, idolatry, worship. It's all over the earth. So if you're in the world and you love the things of the world, the love of the Most High is not with you. So if you're following this Roman Catholic belief, you are not truly in the hand of the Most High. You are not on the right side of the fence. Okay? There's only one master to serve. Okay? He will love one and hate the other. Okay? So are you truly serving the Most High or are you truly serving Satan? Those are the only two options you have in the whole entire world. You cannot be Switzerland and be neutral. You cannot straddle the fence. If you straddle the fence, he shall also spit you out. Okay? You must be hot or cold. Okay? So I am your brother, Alex Gabriel Arbantu. I'm here to be a servant for you guys, to show you the truth, because knowing the truth and having knowledge of the truth will set you free. Okay? Faith alone will not just save you. Okay? We have the faith, but it says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So let's all be in one accord, seek out the truth, and be humble to one another. So if someone comes to correct you and ask you, hey, do you know where Christianity came from? Do you know who invented Christianity? Do you know who created Christianity? They are not attacking your belief. They are seeing if you have a strong foundation and knowing what you're truly worshiping. Okay? It's good to ask questions. Don't be ashamed to ask a question. Only a fool remains silent and never asks questions. Okay? A wise man shall seek wise counsel and seek after knowledge and wisdom, because wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, with all thy getting, get understanding. Okay. May you all be blessed. May all of you have an amazing rest of your day. May the Most High dwell with you. May He teach you and guide you in this walk, because we will all be eating humble pie. Okay, we have all been lied to, and the Most High slowly showing the world, showing those who truly love Him the truth. Okay, because it says many are called, but few are chosen, and a remnant shall be saved. Come on, guys, read the Bible for yourself. Don't let a pastor teach you the parables. The Bible is written in parables, and the parables are only meant to be understood by those who need to understand. So if you have a hard time understanding the parables, that's when you pray and fast and ask the Most High and seek His wisdom, and at your own. Okay, your wisdom, a human's wisdom and knowledge will not take them far. Only the Most High can take them far. All right, everybody, have an amazing day. And I also thank my brother, Nabi Yaya Mikhail Massa, who is also my teacher, for being a servant of the Most High as well. Okay. In Geta, may the kingdom of Congo rule. May we all walk in love. If you walk in love, you will have also fulfilled the law. Okay? Because the Most High is love Himself. In Geta.